In this video, we're going to take a deeper dive into Pyrois. As of the 3.1 anniversary patch, he's getting some more upgrades. But how well do his best teams perform in endgame content? Sit back and relax for this team showcase of Pyrois. As a reminder, all of the content in this video is from the creator beta server of Zenless Zone Zero. As such, some information, results, and values might change, although slightly, for the full release. Thank you very much to Hoyoverse for granting early access. And with that being said, let's do this. While we're going through Deadly Assault here with Pyrois, let's quickly review how to use him the best way in his best moves. Remember that Pyrois is a special rank ether attack agent from the Phaethon faction. Our main resource to utilize on our JoJo stand is Solar Prominence, indicated by this bar and this meter. This unlocks his best form of damage in basic attack Celestial Light. And that's pretty much his gameplay loop, utilizing his moves to gain Solar Prominence and then chaining directly back into basic attack Celestial Light for big damage. The cool thing about Pyrois is that his assist follow-up, chain attack, dodge counter, and ultimate will all directly combo back into this third hit of Celestial Light. The other important thing to mention about Pyrois is his 4 different ultimates. After you press Q, like usual, you'll have 4 different branches. The upper branch gives more crit damage against stunned enemies as well as Solar Prominence. Left branch works off of Contamination State, which is of course because of the wind anomaly, and will deal 900% of attack as extra damage. The lower branch enters the Sun Flare state, which improves energy generation by 15%, damage dealt by 40%, and you'll get 10 Solar Prominence when triggering a perfect block with EX Special. My personal favorite is the right branch, which gives us a powerful instance of Totalize, and Hugo Vlad would be very proud. As for Pyrois' teams, his best partner will be Norma. If you ever want to use Pyrois, then you should absolutely pull for Norma, who's actually available right now. You can of course change your stunners. Dial-in is always a good option in pretty much every team, and I even used regular old Ambi in the free-to-play team at the end of the video here. The same concept is true for supports. In this showcase we used Astriel, Suna, and even Nicole. It's crazy how long Astriel has lasted as being one of, if not the best support in the game, and she has no signs of slowing down, and there's no foreseeable future where she can't be meta. Her main competitors would be Yuzuha, although she's more focused on anomaly teams, and Suna. You can make an argument for either, but I would personally say Suna's a little bit better. Not because of team synergies, because they both work in pretty much anything, but Suna also gives a fairly big amount of damage while she's giving such good buffs. We'll see Nicole in the free-to-play team at the end, but even she is good enough to get 3 stars in Deadly Assault. As for the actual purpose of the video, we have some Mindscapes to talk about with Pyrois as well. Mindscape 1 says upon entering the battlefield, Pyrois will gain 1000 decibels, and this can trigger once every 180 seconds in Investigation Zone, and he has an 8% crit rate increase. Mindscape 2 says that using his ultimate will grant 1500 decibels, and this can trigger once every 180 seconds, and his decibel limit increases by 1000. This is the best Mindscape we have for him so far, and allows us to do double ultimates in one string. Even in the same stun window, you can start with the upper branch to get that damage bonus against stunned enemies, and even finish off with the right branch for the Totalize. Outside of the stun window, you would just use the lower branch for energy regen, damage boost, etc. Mindscape 4 is brand new as of the 3.1 patch, and when Pyrois triggers a perfect block with EX Special, he'll gain a shield with 8% of max HP lasting 10 seconds, and repeated triggers reset the duration, plus he'll do 10% extra days with this shield. Ultimately, it's just a nice little quality of life, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what his Mindscape 6 will be, presumably in one of the upcoming patches. We can also briefly remind ourselves about how to build Pyrois. Really, there's only one W engine that we ever have to worry about him, because we get his signature for free. This also includes 4 copies so we can get it to S5. Soul Exuvia is the name of the W engine, and it has an advanced stat of attack percent. He will also get a 20% crit rate increase for free, and when using an ultimate as Pyrois, you'll get a new buff called Eclipse. This makes any of Pyrois' damage ignore 22% of ether resistance lasting 45 seconds with repeated triggers resetting the duration. As for his disk drives, there's only one 4-piece you ever need to worry about because it was specifically made for Pyrois, the Sky Ablaze. You'll of course get the 10% ether damage bonus, but when the equipper's an ether agent, their crit damage increases by 30% for free. When you use EX Special or Ultimate, your attack will also increase by 10% for 30 seconds. Repeated triggers resetting the duration. Now as for the 2-piece, you have a couple of options depending on which stats you need more of. Pyrois really loves crit rate and crit damage and attack percent, like normal DPS. In that sense, start off with a 2-piece Woodpecker Electro to have the crit rate. He has a ton of crit damage already built into his kit, so we need to make sure that crit rate is still up to par. If you do have enough crit rate, then you could consider using Branch and Blade Song for the crit damage. As for main stats, slot 4 is the same idea. Start with crit rate unless you need more crit damage. Slot 5 should only be ether damage bonus, and slot 6 should only be attack percent. For substats, focus on crit rate and crit damage, followed by attack percent, then flat attack, and then the rest. Now let's talk a little bit about this free-to-play Pyrois team. This team was probably the trickiest to play with general timings and trying to keep Anby on the field, as well as the buffs up from Nicole. This team can really work well because of Pyrois' sustainable damage. Obviously you'll do more damage in the stun window, but Pyrois can still do pretty dang good damage even when they aren't stunned. For a free-to-play or even a newer player to Zenless, this team is very achievable and pretty easy to build. I mean, even Nicole and Anby are some of your first characters you're going to acquire, and then Pyrois is just from doing the 3.0 story. In any endgame content that focuses on ether, and specifically attack buffs, is where this team will shine the most. As a quick note, I definitely didn't really focus on Anby or Nicole's build all that hard in this video, and they can definitely be optimized even more to make the score even higher. I also feel that I didn't really play this team the best. I think I should have focused a little bit more on just dealing damage with Pyrois than going for the stun window all the time to maintain that steady damage. Alternately, I think playing the stun window isn't necessarily a bad idea either, especially when you can get the double ultimate for the extra stun damage bonus from upper branch and then the totalize from the right branch. But let me know what you all think about Pyrois in the comments below, and if this little team showcase was more up your alley, make sure to like the video as well as subscribe for more early access content very soon. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.